anime character.
All right. Hey, everybody. How you doing today? This is Coach Justin with Springfield Elements 5 Jiu-Jitsu. Doing some basic Jiu-Jitsu. This is my niece, Ella. And she's going to be my partner today. She has the day off, and so she was able to make it over today. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue our series of turtle defenses. So she's going to demonstrate. She's going to help me demonstrate some of these techniques. And remember, just things that we go over to keep in mind as we do these moves, okay? So let's get it started here. Just hopefully this doesn't mess up too much. There we go. Okay. All right. So now that I have a body here, I can show some of these things. Show some of these things in normal position. Just so remember when you're in turtle position, or when you're in bottom turtle position, you want to try to get as tight as possible. Let's see how tight Ella can get in her turtle position. So you're gonna just elbows to the floor, head down, try to get your, oh, there you go. So if you want to turn 90 degrees for me so we can see your side there. This is a really good turtle position. You see how tight her elbows are up against her knee here. It'd be real hard for me to get my knees in there. Now I can get my arms in there because arms are pretty small, and they're a wedge, so you can easily get arms in there. But to get my knees in there, that requires a little bit more force or a little bit more leverage. So this is a really good tight turtle. Now wrestlers like to play a wrestler's turtle. So if you come to your hands, just keep your, just be strong in your back and up on your hands like a table. So there you go. So this is kind of a wrestler's position here. And this can be actually very, very beneficial as well. If I'm on top of her back like this, and she's here, see how high I am having to be on her back? If she's crouched down where she was before, go ahead and go back to that other position. And I go on top of her back, see how much lower I can get here? I can actually exude more pressure because of that. And if she's up higher, like she was before, it's much harder for me because I have to come up and be up more in order to do that. However, the drawback is that I can attack her neck a little bit more. And so there's like a give and take of both. If she's okay with, neck attacks, like she's been attacked a few times on her neck and she knows how to defend against them or get out of them, then she might be okay with this. Plus being up on her hands gives her a little more mobility with some things. And to go back and forth between being real tight and being open is actually a pretty good way to defend yourself. Now, so remember, when you start with the turtle position, you're always going to be like 1 over, 1 under, and so it's going to be like one like over the shoulder here and underneath the arm here, and you're going to try to connect the two, right? And so the last few days we've been talking about transitions to deal with people in the front. Today we're going to talk about some transitions to deal with people who have come to the side. So they're no longer in front of you; they've moved to the side. And there are there are actually a couple ways that we can deal with this. So if you want to come down for just 1 second. So one is if I'm here and I go to transition to the side here like this, there's a pretty easy move that lets you get back into guard from there. If I miss that move for whatever reason, like the person's blocking real good or they've got a lot of pressure on my hips and I can't do that move, there's another move that we can do to deal with that. And thankfully, like I said, Ella's here today to help us out, to be my partner, and I'm going to be the one doing the movements, and she's going to be the one being the good participant, okay? So we're going to start with the move that flows from one side to the other. So let's start with the flow part itself. So what Ella's going to do is she's going to actually start in the correct position on top of me. Then she's going to transition to the other side, and she's going to kind of show you how I showed her how to do that. So I'm going to be in turtle position or some variation of turtle position. I'm trying to be tight. She's going to be 1 over, 1 under. And then what she's going to do is she's going to transition. So she's going to start by sprawling back. And then she's going to reach across with her underhook side and then come around and change position. Now, nope. There you go. So now you'll notice that what she's got here, she's got this side overhooked and this side underhooked. If she did it the other way, go ahead and do it the other way. It'd be real easy for me to just slip out the back. Where did they go?
Back there. Yep.
Okay. So one more time, she's going to show you that transition. And there's one little detail that she's not going to do for this first part of the transition. Or no, she is going to do for this part of the transition, because what it does is it blocks another move that we can do. So I'm actually going to have her do it without the transition, so I can show you how it works with what I talked about yesterday, which is the low single, one of the moves I talked about yesterday. And then she's going to do it with the trap, with the correct movement to block me from doing it. Because if you forget the second movement, or the correct arm movement, it can lend itself to this, especially for somebody like me who wants to do this move. So she's going to do it the first time without the arm, the correct arm placement. Well, more correct, I should say, arm placement. So I'm going to take a slightly different angle so I can be in front here. So go ahead and come up on top. Yeah. Okay, so when she goes to transition, go ahead and start your transition. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to keep going. I'm going to move this hand out and down. Just keep going. And when she comes down, I'm going to end up with my arm over here. So my arm's over here. And then it's real easy for me to grab her ankle, pull it in like this, and drive. And you can see how she's going to topple over. Okay. Now this time, what she's going to do. So that is how that is one of the easiest ways to deal with the turn. Because remember, you always want to turn to the side that you have the overhook on the head, the arm next to the head, because it's a lot easier. Now, if you want to be unorthodox and move to the other side because it's a little awkward, you're more than welcome to. But either way, you can anticipate that, especially if a guy's moving really fast. You can anticipate that movement, and if you get that angle on their leg where my head is up against the belly button and my arm's grabbing the ankle, it's pretty much done. Okay, so what she's going to do is, yeah. So let's show that again from the side here, so I can finish the dump off, and you can see how that works.
Yep.
So, boom, go ahead. And then now I'm in side control.
Yep.
Okay, I just keep coming up, and I'm in side control. It's a real simple move, but that can be defeated with another simple move, which is what she's going to do is when she starts to make this move around the corner, she's going to use her opposite hand to block the back of my arm. So when I try to reach out, she's actually putting her body in the way with her hand, and I can't get my arm around it. I could maybe try a little bit of finagling, but if she does it right, it's going to be real hard for me to get my arm, especially if she does it like right here. The shoulder's a good spot, right behind the shoulder. So hopefully from this angle, you can kind of see what she's going to be reaching for when she reaches for it. So let's try that.
So,
You see it? It's super simple, but like once she started to pass around, I couldn't keep my arm in the right spot. So now I'm here. Okay. All right. So that's going to be the correct, the more correct way to turn to the other, to come to the other side, because the turtle position, like I said, can be faced like head to head, or it can be from the back, from the side. And this is just one option for the movement. Okay. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in transition. All right. Because when your opponent transitions, there's always a moment where they are floating. So they're not putting a lot of pressure on you because they're moving, especially your hips is what we're worried about here. So they're floating in this motion, okay? Just trying to figure out. Yeah, that'd probably be good. We'll do it sideways again. We'll try to get here. Space is small, it's a gym garage. Or a garage gym. So what I'm going to do, I'll give you a heads up. What I'm going to do is when she goes to pass, she's going to pass on this side again. Mm-hmm. I'm actually going to tuck this shoulder, and I'm going to kick myself up and roll over. And once I roll over, I'm going to end up on bottom guard. And now I'll have a little better opportunity to do something. Okay?
I'll be on like full guard of me.
Yes. Okay. So we're here. And she's gonna come in and she's gonna get her control position. Other side. No, other way. Yeah. There you go. All right. So what she's gonna do is she's gonna start to pass. She's gonna pass correctly. She's gonna put the hand across my back. She's gonna reach underneath to grab behind my arm. And I know the pass is coming, so I'm gonna duck down like this and kick myself over. And there we go. I'm back in guard. Okay. It's a little bit of a it's a somersault, essentially, is what it is. When you practice, one of the moves that we practice in Jiu-Jitsu class, this is a solo move you can do by yourself, it's just a forward roll. And it's actually real easy to practice from your knees, but you can also practice from your feet. Practice from your knees, you won't go as far than you would with your feet. But it's like I said, it's real easy. You just duck the shoulder, the side that your opponent's going towards. And what's going to happen is when you finish, you're going to end up sort of sideways. Yeah. Okay, because of the positioning. Now, this move again works best if you're moving in transition. Okay. Yeah. So again, if your opponent is moving in transition, it's going to work real well. You can use this as well if your opponent is a little bit lighter on your hips. But most of the time, the lightness on the hips, and if they're pressing on your back, that's actually fine because my back's going down. It's my hips that have to come up and over. Yes. And people can try and stop you. People can grab your legs in the middle of it, and that's fine too because once you're in the direction, all you gotta do is put a little weight on them, and you can be fine. Okay. Yeah. So let's try it again. Give it another shot here. So she's gonna be here. She's going to start the movement. She's going to do everything correctly. She's going to put her arm across my back. She's going to go for that behind the arm. Yep. And then I'm going to duck and roll. And see, now she ends up in guard. Now, if she saw this coming, she might end up hook underneath my arms. There you go, like this. And that's okay because all I have to do is drive my hips down and I can start to shift my hips out and away. And I can try to regain some semblance of guard that way as well. So that move right there works real well in transition. And if your opponent gives you a little bit of freedom, a little bit of float on top of your back. Now remember, this is all being aware of your position, right? You're on all fours. Your opponent's trying to attack you from the front. You're defending. So at some point they decide to go to the side. And you respond this way. Now, maybe they're attacking, they get something in, so you're worried about that, and they pass, and now you miss your opportunity. Okay, this particular move is a real simple way to get back to guard as well, but it does require a little bit of thoughtfulness as well, because there are some chokes that you can do from the side back, the side turtle back top side turtle position. So until we really address those, this is a good option from that position, okay? And this will get you back into guard as well, okay? So what she's gonna do is see, let's turn this way. This will be better. So she's gonna be already on my side now. Okay, go ahead and be already on the side. Okay. Yeah, perfect. So she's already on my side. Okay, so maybe I was here and she does this. Okay, so what's going to happen is my back leg here is going to go straight back. And then once it gets far enough back, I'm going to put my foot up here. Right, what this does is it gives me a planting foot as well as makes it difficult for her to get behind me so that she can hook this foot in on that side. All right, now step 2 is I'm going to plant this hand here to make my tripod, and I'm going to reach and I'm going to grab the pants. I grab the pants because I don't want her to come back around on me. If I hold this here and try to go for this move, she can come back this way. But if I hold her pants, then it's real easy for me to sit through and bring her back into my guard, okay? This will be easier for some people. And so when we, if you watch my YouTube channel and understand the elemental parts of these jiu-jitsu moves, the first move I just showed was a water move because it's a fluid thing. Your opponent moves, so you move with your opponent. There's a bit of timing involved, water. This one requires you to expand and then contract. So this is going to be one of your air moves. So if you're keeping track of that on like your daily log that I post with the YouTube videos, this is how you would label that. So that first move is water. The second move is going to be an air move. Again, because she's gonna. So again, watch what happens. Watch what happens to my body. So she's gonna be already on my side. Okay. Now what I'm doing, first thing I'm doing is I'm expanding and creating space by posting. All right. And then I'm going to block and I'm going to pivot through to take that space away and come back in to guard. Okay. And if she turned like this, I would definitely take her back instead. But if she's good, she's going to try to fall in this way so she can get up.
Yep.
Pull up, slide that knee back. There you go. She's going to try to get to her knees, and then we're going to be in guard again.
Yep.
Okay. So that move works. That move works no matter if you've. I wouldn't say it's a foolproof move, but it's definitely one that can help out in some situations, including the situation that we're going to talk about here in just a moment, because we're going to be talking about a choke called the clock choke, which I said we talked about yesterday, but we didn't, so we're going to talk about it today. So the clock choke is a choke that is going to require you to keep your opponent to put pressure down on your back. So if you get out of this before that pressure is started to apply, then you're going to end up getting out of it. And so so there are a couple ways to do this move. So let me teach you first. I'm not going to actually do the choke because I'm going to let Ella do the choke, but I'm going to show you how the choke is set up. So if you want to come here, face the head down, knees, feet that way, yep, and just come down to your all fours. Doesn't matter if you're on knee, elbows or whatever. So the clock choke works like this. So I'm going to grab the gi up in here. So you see how I'm not grabbing the same side, I'm grabbing the opposite side.
So it's like right on
of
my
the
neck.
gi like this. And then this hand is going to either block the inside of this leg, so this leg here, or grab this wrist. And then the choke is I sit up on her back, preferably higher, and kind of hip forward. So I'm turning and hipping forward like this. And like I said, she'll do that to me in a minute. But notice if I'm here like this, right? So if I'm here like this, and she does this move, she puts this leg out behind me, and then she grabs my pants. There you go. And then she pivots on that hand and sits that foot through. See how I've lost this choke? Go ahead and keep going through. Best you can. Okay. So now I have no choke here. That's all that she did. She just swung her body through, and I lost that choke. Part of that is because I didn't have the block on. All right. Go ahead and come back. Now, if I get this here and I go here, can you do it now?
Nope.
Because she can't sit through.
Nope.
Can you do it now? Because she can't post. All right. So if you telegraph this choke using this hand here, you're already in here like this, then she knows, oh crap, I need to get out of this. So she's gonna swing this leg over and through. She's gonna go boop, and then sling that leg through. Yep, that's all she got to do. There wasn't even anything too special about that. She didn't even use the whole swing to try to get her leg through. She just put her foot back and swung her leg through. It's a super simple escape to this move if I don't block the hip.
It's really easy.
Okay. If I do block the hip though, like I did, it also makes it difficult for her to roll. So that first escape that we showed, go ahead and come back down. So if I'm here and I just have this control and I block this hip here like this, right? If she tries to roll, go and try to roll over the shoulder. Yeah. See how I've got control of her hips? All right, go ahead and come back. If I got this arm, go ahead and try it now.
Yeah, I just died.
Right, she can't create the angle that she needs if I have control of that hip or have control of that hand. So there's this, like I said, there's a certain amount of timing there that you have to kind of control what's going on with that top arm. And if you don't, you can definitely be in trouble. So, so let's show the actual choke. All right. So what Ella's going to do is she's going to reach under and grab my lapel under my throat.
Okay.
Yep. So try to get up as high as you can so you can get, there you go. Then she's going to reach over my body and she's going to try to put her hand on the mat. And if she can't put her hand on the mat, I'll try to open this up. There you go. Okay. Now what she's going to do is she's going to sit through so her right leg is going to go through my arm and her leg.
Okay. So. Like this?
Yep. Good. Now put your whip. Now come up onto my back though. So you're gonna push it on my back. There you go. There you go. Now just keep your chest up, hips up. Chest up, hips up. Go that way. Go that way. Yep. Go that way. Keep going. Now just hips up, hips up. You got almost there.
Back.
Yep. Chest up, hips. Keep going. Pull. 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 Also gotta pull it here. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So
I'm a strong kid.
how tight you get this will determine how far you go. And that's why they call it the clap choke, is because once you get your legs straight out and you're on top of the back, it's a matter of just bringing
Like
your
clockwork.
feet like that. So she should be stretched out like this, and then just put pressure on my back, pulling up on my lapel, and then she just moves this direction. Okay, right here.
So going underneath,
As high as you can.
over, and
Walk me up. Best you can.
Yep. there we go. And sliding through.
Yep, get up higher on the back. And then chest up to the sky. And then walk around and pull. Yep, almost there. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. So that's your clock choke. All right. Now there are people out there who can do that really good. And remember, it's all about, I can't see how she's doing, but it's all about keeping your chest up. All right. So I'm going to use this. I want to choke her. I'm going to use this to try to kind of make sure that the angle is correct. So if I'm here and I've got this and I'm facing here, right? I'm gonna sit up. I'm gonna sit up and through, and I'm like this. So my hips are forward and my arms back like this, and then I'm just gonna start to turn this corner like this, and I should keep my feet in front of me like that.
Yeah.
And that's gonna push their head with your body this way. So no matter how big you are, no matter how strong you are, if she's pushing my head with her body this way and pulling with her arm at the same time, even just holding this arm in place, then that's going to be
a faithful end.
Yeah, that's how you're going to do that. Okay. So let's talk more about defenses to this. Okay, because like I said, there's a couple of options that you have, and you just want to be thoughtful of how to do them. Okay. So we're going to go with a more. First of all, let's talk about the setup again. All right. So there's multiple ways to set this up. I'm going to use you. It's not going to choke you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So remember, if I go here, I just go right up into the collar like this, I'm telegraphing that I'm going to choke. Okay. So there's two options here. Option number one is she can do her roll, right, that we talked about. So if I haven't plugged this in to block this hip here or to block that arm there, she can do her step out roll. So if I'm here, she's just going to sit this leg back, this left leg back behind mine. Left leg. There you go. And then sit through. Let it sit through. Now, no choke.
No choke.
Okay. Now, the other option I have is I'm going to put my foot, put this here like this on the inside of her thigh to keep her from doing that. She should know that I'm going to try to do this. So as I bring this hand inside, she's actually just going to meet my hand with her hand. So if you meet my hand with your hand, like that. If she's got a hold of my hand here like this, how am I supposed to choke her? right? I can't get in here. So that's when I'm going to try to like reach up in here and grab this. Then she's going to bring in this hand to defend my choke, to defend all this. And maybe even if I'm not good at that, see how this is locked in here? Yesterday we showed you that rolling sweep, okay? So what's going to happen is I'm going to scoot over here just a skosh so I can show you that. So no, you're still in the same spot. Hopefully my legs don't hit anything. So if I get this arm inside, right, to grab this, she's going to reach back with this arm to grab this arm. So she's going to reach, oh, this arm. You're just going to reach, try to grab here. Just hold this, just like that. Then she's going to straighten this leg out, just straight back, and then roll on that side. I'm going to come up on top of you, keep rolling, roll me over. There you go. There you go. She swept me. Now she's in side control. Yep. If she comes up on top. We'll go that way. Okay, so that's what happens if you grab that arm, or what can happen. There is a quick little rebuttal to that, which I can't really do. It's which Dustin T, our coach or our professor, taught in class last night, or sorry, Monday night. Monday night, where you jump over to the other side and stop it from happening. Can you tell me what time that says?
5:27.
Okay, good. So you can jump over to the other side if you can get that move. But the safer one is inside the thigh. Okay, so remember, inside the thigh to defend. She's gonna stay tight. I'm trying to get in. Maybe I'm trying to take her back, because this is a real common place to take a back from. I'm not the kind of guy who's gonna take your back. I'm the kind of guy who might try to suitcase you. Go ahead and go John Force, by grabbing the back of your collar and your belt and yanking you this way. Like that's one thing I'm gonna do. But in no-gi, obviously, I don't have that luxury. This is a real strong spot for no-gi because I have nothing, no handles to grab onto and pull. But in the gi, I can use the back of the collar right here and the belt and try to stay as tight as possible. So someone as strong as me, no, try to stay tight. Try to keep yourself like the ball. I can pick her up, see? So I don't even need that much leverage to kind of shove her down to the side. Okay, I used the gi as a suitcase, as handles in a suitcase, and that's what the gi is all about, is leverage and push pulls and that kind of stuff. So we got the one position inside. Now the other thing you can do too, if you're aware enough, is if I get this hand inside here and I'm just kind of loose with it, she can actually reach up with both hands on this elbow here, push the elbow up, and get your head out, duck your head up, yeah, like that. Now there's no choke. All right, and if I try to get it back over, see, there's no choke there. Having said that, there is a trickier way to set this up as well. So if she's down, right, and I'm inside here, and I'm blocking this, I can actually try to get my thumb inside her collar, like this, like push down, and when she pushes back, because I'm pushing down, go ahead and push back again. When she pushes back, I can swing this arm around, and now I'm in my choke position, right? So that's a little tricky thing you can do if you're so inclined. But if you get both pieces, that's really what's going to help finish this choke. Now, so you can see this is in multiple parts because, like I said, I can set this up in a couple different ways, right? I can set it up by putting the hand inside first. I can set it up by putting the choke inside first. I can set it up by putting the hand inside and then grabbing this collar and then driving her head down. And when she comes up, I can swing it around and finish it that way. So you have to just be thoughtful and aware of what your opponent's doing and why they might be doing it. It's all about chokes. Whenever anybody's grabbing a collar, it's all about chokes, okay? Because if I've got this here and I've got this here and I'm pushing down on her head, she can't roll away from me. My leg is holding here and she can't, pushing back on me is real difficult. So if I have this in the right spot and she pushes back on me, it's real easy for me just to let this go through and hook that up and under, okay? So let's show the clock choke one more time. so you guys can see that. And then I'll do some clock choke on her, and then, or not choke her, but set up a choke, and then she's got to figure out what we need to do in order to defend that specific moment of the choke. I'm staying warm. It's cold out here. Okay, so we're getting close. Don't worry. So she's gonna go deep up inside, go deep as you can. There you go. Then the hand's gonna go inside the leg. There you go. Then she's going to stand up on both her feet, and then sit through, back, and make sure your head's to the ceiling. And you're pushing up my head. There we go.
I fell off of you.
So there you go. Now we're gonna do her side. So I'm gonna be attacking her. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna get this in. Okay, what are your two options? And what? Yep. Gotta pull the head up. Okay, what's your other option?
Yeah.
Sit through. Now she can get this leg all the way through. She's in a better position than just halfway, because if she gets halfway, I can try to push on this knee, and then she has to frame, and it's all this other stuff. But she can get that foot through. So that's why that's to me, it requires a little bit more flexibility. It requires a little bit more nimbleness. You got to be able to get your knee up on against your chest higher. Something I have trouble with. You can see Ella here. She's not small, but she's not like big like me yet. And she has trouble getting her knee to a point where she can get her foot past my legs to slide it through. So everybody's body type's a little different, and that's why we're teaching this. So again, in an ideal world, she could get it all the way through, and then she's in guard. But this is better than what she was before, right? And it may end up back where it was. But at least here, if I have this and I try to just press into her, she can pull that leg out and through as I'm pushing into her, and go to half guard or wherever she ends up. So that's good. All right. So go ahead and go back. All right. So now let's say instead of this here, I'm going to go inside the thigh first. All right. What are we thinking here? So you're blocking this hand. Okay, that's good. You can even go 2-on-1 on this hand. And there's actually that other move that we did. So go baseball, like a baseball bat. So one on one side and one on the other. There you go, like that. Now what she's going to do is she's going to start to turn her head into me. She's going to try to rotate herself, your whole body, not twist your head, turn your head. And she's going to try it now. What she's going to do, get your legs underneath you, make sure you're so strong. There you go. So this is the move here. She's going to pull my hand toward her, and she's going to drive her head into my bicep. Good. Keep driving. Now push forward. Push forward with your legs. Push forward with your legs. Try to push me forward. Try to push. There you go, like that. Nope, I want to be there. I'm going to stay up on your knees. So let's try it again. She wasn't here for this, obviously, yesterday. Nope. And we actually didn't go over this. I'm trying to teach it to her in this moment. So this is the 2-on-1 control that I showed on Monday. Yeah. This can work from this position as well. It works real well from the front, but it can also work from the side. So what she's going to do is she's going to get 2-on-1 on my hand. So I was here. So I go to block. She's already grabbing the wrist. She's going to rotate her whole body and get her forehead. Just when I say rotate, sorry. When I say rotate, I mean literally like you're going to stay here, but you're going to move yourself so that you're more parallel, more in line with me. Like this? So just crawl your legs over. You're going to stay the same position. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So come back. All right. So now, again, we're going to block. She's going to go 2-on-1. She's going to get her head in there, and she's going to start to rotate around. Good. Now she's just going to pull my head and drive me. Pull, and then drive with your legs. Drive with your legs. Try to push me over. Trying to push me over. There you go. Don't fall over. You keep falling over. You got to stay up on your knees. And then once you get here, see I'm on my side? You can let this go now. And come over like this.
Yeah. I'm free, yeah.
Okay. Let me show her. It's like I said I didn't show her this.
Yeah.
Actually do it to her. Go ahead and come. Okay. To the other side.
I know. So like
okay. So she goes to block the hips. And I'm here defending. So I get her wrist and I get her other wrist like this. And I start to get my head underneath like this. And all I'm gonna do is drive forward like
Oh,
this.
like a bull. Okay.
And then come on top. Okay?
Okay.
Yes. You want to hold my hand down, drive forward. So come on over here so we can get room.
Okay.
All right. So this is a good response, and this plays into things we've already worked on. So this gives you all kind of options that you can go to based on just basic movements, but just from a different direction. Right?
Just kidding.
So I'm here. I block the hip. She's defending. She grabs my wrist 2-on-1. Get your head. Just go for it. Go, 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 go.
There we go.
Keep going.
Bye.
Yep. Come and tell you're in a better position. Don't just knock me over.
I know.
It's all about getting the better position.
Yeah. I'm
Don't
really
just-
small compared
Just
to you. So
knock
it's
me over and then go, oh, that's it. Yeah, but you may be smaller than me, but these moves, a lot of these moves don't take into consideration. In fact, sometimes
They're difficult.
being smaller is actually easier against a bigger opponent because
That's me.
I don't have a lot of space,
I'm dirt.
right? So I don't know about you guys, but if you've ever watched sorry, get my head in there. If you've ever watched two big guys roll with each other, it's kind of slow. Like, not just because big guys are not necessarily have better cardio, but it's like there's not a lot of fun stuff going on. There's not a lot of spinning. There's not a lot of crazy leg entanglement kind of stuff, and it's all because of the fact that space gets taken out, right? Space gets taken out. If you want to lay on your back for me, I just want to show this one concept, and then we'll call it a day. So if this is where Ella is, and I come on top of her like this, right? My stomach is big enough that it sort of fills this in, but it doesn't actually like push into her stomach, okay? It's like if I go correctly to side control like this, I'm pushing down on her like I should, but there's still, she doesn't feel like a super strong pressure. I have to actually like hold on and squeeze in order to get pressure out of her, right?
Make me weak.
When you're really thin, like there's a lot of people who do jiu-jitsu who are really thin. There's like so much space there that they can just get their legs inside, and so hard for me to defend against. And but when you're smaller, you can actually squeeze down lower so you can take more space out. So when it's big against big, there's less space. When it's small against small, there's less space. But when it's big against small, the big guy allows you to create more space that you can get into. And so in a lot of cases, the smaller person actually has the advantage in those situations. All right, well, that's it for today. Thank you all for coming and seeing this or watching the video on YouTube. If you have any questions, you can comment or send me a message on the YouTube channel. It's linked in the announcement that goes out every day that we have class. And in the meantime, have a good rest of your week. Real quick shout out to all the veterans out there, as it is a Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. My brother, Joe, her father was a veteran. He didn't really serve in wartime, but he did go overseas and do some stuff overseas. So just a shout out to him. And he's probably not watching this. But yeah, so thank you all you vets for what you did for our country and what you're currently doing. And like I said, have a wonderful rest of your week, and thanks for coming. Bye, everybody.